everyone, welcome back. In this video, I am playing along with a fun Instagram hop with Pink Fresh Studio. So be sure to go over to Instagram, check out what I created. I am going to be creating a couple cards for them with their new release. I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to do in the hop, but I'm going to create one of the two cards in this video, and then you'll see the next card coming soon. So I am really enjoying all of the things they sent over from their new release. They sent these over for me to play around with. It was so sweet of them. And this first one is really neat. This is called their overlapping triangles, and it is a set of 4 stencils. So pretty. So what I'm going to do is I pulled 4 colors, 1 color for each stencil. I have Coral Reef, Passion Fruit, Peach Fuzz, and Ocean Breeze. I really thought that that would be really fun and summery. And let's go ahead and just start playing around and doing some ink blending. Let's layer up these stencils and have some fun creating. Okay, I am going to bring in, actually, let me bring it over here so that I kind of remain in the middle of the screen. But I'm going to bring in this really nice mat from Waffle Flower. I really like it, and it's been really helpful for doing stencils. Okay, before I do anything else though, I'm going to just grab some 80-pound cardstock, and I am simply going to just trim this to 6 by 6. Now you can absolutely start with an A2 size panel, but I find it a little bit easier to do it this way just for alignment reasons, and more importantly, just for quick alignment. Now, something about these stencils, again, this is a set of 4. It does have little stencil names on each one in that upper left. You can see stencil 1, 2, 3, and 4. It also has these really nice corner alignment guides. Right here, you can see it top left, top right, and then on the bottom as well. So those will help you, if you have an A2 size panel, line that up perfectly. Now, it's genius. For some reason, for me, I find it super difficult. And I think it's just because I'm an overthinker. So I tend to overthink it and then kind of doubt myself. So I find it a little bit easier to take a bigger piece of cardstock, place it right in the corner of my little stencil mat here. That way I can just guide this right into the corner as well, and it's done. This allows me to be in alignment each and every time, because all I have to do is grab the next stencil and make sure it is nudged right into that corner, and we will have alignment. So overthinking once more, just making sure that I do have that in place. I may even just bring in a piece of washi tape just to make sure. And I'm just going to grab stencil 1. Okay, again, here are my colors. Do something like that. Okay, so let's just do Coral Reef first, and making sure that stencil is right up in the corner, I will just bring in my first color. Just blend that right into all of my little openings. How pretty is that? Take any of my extra ink, continue blending, and I think that is where I want my color to be. So I'm going to continue doing all of my triangles. Really love this color. So pretty. I don't know how this color combination will turn out, but the caps look gorgeous. So I liked them lined up, and I thought we would just go for it. Okay. The thing I love about ink selection and reusing stencils and all of your supplies is that based on your color choices that you use and your different color combinations that you decide on, you can create very different looking cards based on your color palette, which is so refreshing, so nice. Great way to make your craft supplies stretch, right? Also, great way to really fall in love and then re-fall in love with all of your supplies as you use them over and over. Okay, that looks good. So my final little tiny triangle is right here, and I'm going to call that good. Okay, I like how that looks. Go ahead and, whoops, clean that up and remove stencil number 1. Isn't that pretty? Really quickly just clean the front and back of my stencil, also my mat, and we'll move on to stencil 2. And then again, locating that second stencil, stencil 2, placing that right up in the corner. Ooh, that's neat. Now, do all of them have a big... Okay, not all of them. So see how we have some big triangles here? Not all of them have the big triangles. So I don't know that I want to do passion fruit next. Sorry about that squeak. Because I don't want to have these two colors be too, I don't know. I don't want them to take over on the card. So I think what I'll do is move on to Peach Fuzz and allow another color to kind of even out the coral reef. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If not, well, we'll see in the end, right? But let me go ahead and just clean off my orange brush really quickly so that it is ready for this nice light orange. Okay, so let's make sure that's in alignment. Now it's okay if, you know, my ink goes off the stencil because I'm going to trim down my panel, so I'm not too worried about masking that off. Okay, here we go. Oh, I think this was a good design choice. I think it's really going to balance it out. I think going right into the passion fruit would have just maybe tipped it a little too much on that pink side, where we want to have it be a little bit more balanced. Okay, here we go. Ooh, that is pretty. And these two. I get so excited when asked to play around with layering stencils because they are just so gratifying and easy. I mean, this is just, it's easy. Even if you're not good at ink blending, which I am not the best, I'm still learning, it's really forgiving. It's really, really forgiving. So it makes me feel like I can create some really fun, pretty cards with, you know, not too much skill, really. Okay, ooh, good choice. I think that is pretty. Okay, let me clean front, back, mat, and let's see about, this is kind of where you play around with, I'm going to do stencil 3 here. There we go. And then I want to see, I think I might bring the blue in next. I'm just kind of getting an idea of where this one would go. So, or, ooh, kind of like the blue for that. And I'll tell you why. I think if I do blue for here, I'm not sure how it's going to play with the orange. So I would rather, yeah, see, if I put the blue on this, it has minimal contact with that orange. I'm not mad about it going to the pink because I think I'll get like a nice purpley look, but I don't know about that orange. So let's do stencil 3 with passion fruit. Let's do that. That'll be kind of fun. Grab this brush again and bring that color right in. That'll be nice. And honestly, even if you used the same colors but then just put them on different stencils, you're still getting a really different looking card, I think. It'd be fun to play around with just mixing up which colors go on which stencil and seeing the difference. This is why layering stencils you can just stretch and use over and over again, because they're just really easy to make a variety with. Okay, I think I've got just about where I'm going here. There we go. And get some of my leftover and put it on this final little triangle. Okay. see. Ooh, that is really fun. Okay. Okay, passion fruit is done. We're gonna finish up with Ocean Breeze and Stencil 4. You always want to also make sure that your stencil is the right side up, just making sure that your words can be seen in the right direction. Okay, actually I think I will use more of my teal brush for this color. Let me clean it off. Okay, there we go. And make sure that's nudged in the corner. Let's bring in our blue. Oh, that's a pretty blue, kind of like a turquoise-ish, which I think is going to offer some real fun to this card. Okay. I guess with that, it's kind of bringing in a green with my orange. That's not too bad. Okay, there is my final little triangle all filled in. And oh my goodness, that looks so fun. I love it. I feel like this really screams birthday to me. I am loving that. Okay, I'm gonna take my tape off and clean up here. And let's trim this down and get an idea for what a fun crop we'll do for the visual interest of this design. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my A2 layer die and kind of get an idea of where I want to crop this down. It'd also be a good idea to figure out what I want to do in terms of a sentiment. In fact, I'm wondering if I could turn it this way. And also from Pink Fresh Studio is this beautiful new stamp set in their newest release. And I think this You're All Kinds of Wonderful would be so fun. Oh, I kind of really like that, just to kind of overlap it. I think that would be pretty. So let's crop here. That way we're kind of, I think that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna grab some tape and I will just really quickly trim down the sides, or the side really, and I'll run this through my Platinum 6 really quick, but so that it fits, let's just trim this off. Okay, I'm going to trim this all the way out, and we'll see the final look there. Okay, long story short, I made the hugest boo-boo on my panel while cutting it, and I need to redo. So it's gonna be fine. This is going to give us the opportunity to play around with a different color combination as well. So I'm going to start with Coral Reef again. I was just telling you how you can really stretch a stencil set simply by using a different color palette. So I want to try bringing in some yellow this time, because while I did really like my last panel, I want to see what bringing in a little yellow would be like. I felt like my Coral Reef, while I liked it, it kind of got a little red for me. So I will really quickly, I'm going to do this on fast motion, and let's bring in yellow instead and have some fun. Okay, so here is my final one. I actually went a little lighter with that Ocean Breeze. You know what? I like my second one better. Happy Accidents. Happy Accidents. That is so fun. Okay, you know, sometimes you make mistakes and you think, my goodness, you kind of get all down in the dumps, at least I do. And not necessarily because of the mistake, but just because, you know, I don't know, I don't want time to be wasted, but you know, I feel like that was an opportunity for learning about fun color too. Okay, we are all clean, ready to go. Let's realign that A2 die, and I'm actually really excited about that. I think that this palette is even better. Okay, let's get a crop all decided on. I think that looks really good. And it's deja vu. We're gonna go ahead and retrim this out and be ready to finally move on to the next step. Okay. Okay, so long story short, on my first cut, I still had ink on my cutting plates, which is why I'm grabbing some different cutting plates. I need to clean my other ones. So the card that I did before I started this one, the ink from that card transferred and pressed onto my panel. And while I'd love to show you it, it's a stamp set that's not quite yet released yet, so can't show you just yet. But I don't want to leave you hanging on what the boo-boo really was, because it was minor, but that was a major learning moment for me, because I didn't really think about ink transferring to my cutting plates. Let me know if that's ever happened to you. I hope not, but I'd also feel better if I wasn't all by myself there. Okay, let's see. That looks adorable. Okay, I'm actually really excited about that. So I'm thinking, I really like this You're All Kinds of Wonderful. I think that is adorable. I'm wondering if I should just stamp this right here, or if I should stamp and cut out with the die. Oh goodness. Or Your Heart Is So Big is so cute too. Oh, you know, I'm gonna do You're All Kinds of Wonderful. I really think that's pretty. I don't want to take away, I don't want to cover anything up. So, although Pink Fresh Studio does I'm trying to find them, such a phenomenal job with their dies, you know, cutting, they don't have like too much shadow. So I think actually if I cut that out, it wouldn't necessarily be covering up that much. You know, let's do that. So I could always change my mind, but I'd rather do it this way and then change my mind and stamp on there if I think it's necessary. So I will grab a little scrap piece. Okay. Place this here. And let's stamp this one out. Condition that stamp since it's brand new, and I'm going to be using this stamp set in another video. I'm not sure if that video will come out before this video because I'm in the creative mode and not the scheduling mode today, but you will see it. I'll go ahead and use just this Memento ink. Stamp this out. Ooh, that looks beautiful. I'm going to give it one more just to make sure that's nice and bold, but that first impression was very ideal. Okay. Even better. Let's clean this up. Just lettering is so beautiful. They always do such a beautiful job. And I feel like their stamps are ones that I go to quite often for the sentiments, because not only are they beautiful sentiments, but they are designed so beautifully as well. All right, let's see how this would look all trimmed out and placed on there. And if not, we'll just stamp it right on to the card base. Grabbing a little bit of washi tape. Secure it in a couple spots so it doesn't shift and cut this out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here is, oh, I really love how they do their sentiments. Oh, that's so neat. Okay, because it's almost as if it's right on the card, but this is going to give us the opportunity to be dimensional. So what I'll do is I will take my little die and I will cut this out a couple more times. That way we can build up some dimension and build our final card. Okay, let's grab glue. And what I think I'll do is use tweezers. Look how delicate this is. Let's see, I'll do there. It is so fine and delicate. Oops, I have a little piece right here. And I love this because you can still add dimension by cutting them out and stacking them, but it's not such a bulky shadow that you lose your design behind it. All right. Let's go ahead and just place those together. And shift those into position. There we go. Pinch. And that looks all kinds of wonderful. Let's push that down. And while that is kind of setting up, I'll just add my glue here. Try to add this down there. Okay. I love how we literally switched up one color of the inks and got a completely different tone on the card. It's so pretty. I think the original one with the, gosh, what color was it? Passion fruit. I love passion fruit. I use it a lot in when I'm using the coral reef as a duo, but this time it took on a little too much of a bold red. So sometimes you win, sometimes you know, don't enjoy that as much. That is so fun. Okay, it's so simple. It's so simple. I'm gonna leave my glue out because I think we will embellish a little bit, but let's go ahead and just build up our card base. Before that though, I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to the back of my panel. That way it's all ready to go. So add some strips to the back. There we go. And I feel like depending on the season, because these are just simple triangles, overlapping triangles, but depending on the season that you are creating for, I mean, you could really just make this take a different tone based on your colors. It's really pretty. Here is my Score Buddy and 110-pound cardstock that felt rather thick for a moment, so I thought maybe I had two. Okay, this is sized at 11 by 4 1/4, and then I'll place my center score at 5.5. Let's go ahead and, whoops, press that down. There we go. Open this up, secure this down, this slide off, and peel off our little backers. Okay. I think that looks lovely. And I'm really liking that. Super pretty. Okay, and go right there. Really pretty. So subtle with the layered cardstock, but it really made all the difference. I really am happy with going that route. The tiny bit of white shadow actually really, I think, elevates the card a little bit there. Because of the very tiny nature of our little sentiment and just how delicate it is, I opted to go with some really teeny tiny dewdrops. Also because I don't, again, want to cover up my color, and doing something a little bit more clear, I think, is the right choice here. also another way just to allow the focus to stay on the color of those triangles and not be taken away anywhere else. Okay, there is my final card. I really like that. I think that's so fun. I think it's just simple and so pretty. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. I think this was really fun to build. I really like the final result. I really like that it's just really clean and simple. And I don't know, my eye is just really happy with it. So please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you did enjoy watching. I would love to hear what you're currently working on in your craft room. I can't wait to continue crafting with you. Be sure to also hop over to Instagram and see all the beautiful cards that were created with this collection. It's just so full of goodness. I can't wait to share more from what they released. All right, everyone, I'll see you next time.